Hey everybody, Fun Stampers Journey Coach Janice Whiting here. I am your Coach Direct for Fun Stampers Journey and I am an Executive Manager. In this video, I want to show you how I created this fun card for a new challenge group that a friend of mine and myself have started on Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, number one, make sure to go like my Fun Stampers Journey page. Okay, so Janice Whiting, independent consultant or coach for Fun Stampers Journey. You can just Google, you can do a little search on Facebook for Janice Whiting and it should pop up. So make sure to go like that page and then go and find Journey Sketches. It is a new sketch challenge group or page. It is focused on Fun Stampers Journey products. So if you're a coach, this is for you. If you are a customer, this is for you. If you have no idea who we are, this is for you. It is going to provide you weekly sketches that you can then use to create your own beautiful creation. And like I said, it's for anybody. So even if you don't have a thing of Fun Stampers Journey, you are welcome to come. The idea and the goal is that most of the products used are Fun Stampers Journey, but we don't want to exclude anyone. So you're welcome to play. But do try to hop on to one of our web pages and check out our items so that you can participate in the way that we would love for you to. So using our products. Okay, so this is the card that I made. It is based on sketch 2. So we started last week. This week we have a new sketch and this is the card based off of that sketch. Now the actual sketch I did not have a picture of or a write up of. You have to just go and check it out there. Basically it is a little sentiment square here and an oval, a rectangle, and a circle. So these three and this. It's basically that. It's a pretty simple sketch, but I'm thinking it's something that you can kind of turn and create something fun out there on your own, because I know that you guys are so creative. I've already seen so many of you who have joined the Journey Sketches page and did amazing stuff with our first sketch. So I'm excited to see what you're going to make with our second page or our second sketch. So this is what I made for the second sketch. I'm going to show you how I created it because it's got some fun techniques that I use throughout the card and I want to share with you how I created it. Okay, now before I get to that, I do want to say that if you want to purchase any of the products used on this card, you can go to my website, which is www.funstampersjourney.com/Janice Whiting. Click on the shop button and you can shop like you would any online store. And I would certainly appreciate it. All right, now that that's out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera view and show you how I got it done. Okay, so here's the card. Again, slightly different view. So fun. And I want to go through some of the things that you're going to need to recreate this card. First of all, there's two stamp sets that I use. First, it is the Delightful Light stamp set. Love these super cute light bulbs. And out of this set, I use all of these elements as well as the little rays, the light shining kind of marks there. And then for the sentiment, which is so perfect for this card, Let Your Light Shine, comes from Hello Love. And this one is full of such fun sentiments and some cute stamped images. Love this one. Love that cute little light bulb, the heart. You are beautiful, my dear. Hello Love. And then of course the one that I use is Let Your Light Shine. So you'll need both of those. And then a panel of our whipped cream white cardstock. And I used it as a tent fold. That's how I used or created my card. So 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then some scrap white paper, white cardstock to create your light bulbs from, which I've already stamped here for you. I say for you, for me, for this card. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started with the very first thing that we do. And to recreate this card exactly how it is, you really have to take things in very specific steps. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the very first step, which is to stamp the sentiment on the left hand corner. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm using, again, the sentiment that says Let Your Light Shine. I'm going to pull out my stamp tool, my handy dandy stamp tool. I wish we had one for Fun Stampers Journey, but we don't. And this is going to go right here on the left bottom side. Hopefully my hair's not in the way. Right about there. And I'm going to go ahead and bring my door over to snatch it. And I am using our black licorice ink. And let's see how many times. Sometimes I can get it to where it's perfect the very first time and I don't have to worry about anything. Today's not that day. I'm going to do it one more time. I love my images to be nice and solidly inked up. And so that is one of the reasons why I love my little stamp tool. Beautiful. Okay, that's perfect. Nice and bold. Now I'm going to go ahead and take it out of this. And I'll put that over here to clean. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat set our ink because we are using so many different products today on this card. I want to just make sure that there isn't any bleeding that goes through. I am doing something a little bit different than my original, so we shall see. You're experimenting with me, so here we go. Just a few seconds. Okay, so that was about 20 seconds. We shall see if that's good for us or not. All right, so let your light shine. Isn't that so pretty? I love the font. Love it. Okay, step 2 is we are going to use this beautiful Ray image from Hello Love, and we are going to stamp it in clear embossing pigment ink. So clear pigment ink. I don't know why I threw an embossing there. I threw that in because I am going to be embossing in clear. But right now, just your clear pigment ink. And we're going to go directly over the sentiment. And you won't be able to see it, but just trust me, it's there. Then we'll go up here, up and to the left one. And then down and to the right one time. And then we'll do one on the top right-hand corner. Now again, you may not see that, probably can't. Maybe you can tell a little bit that it's there, but I promise you it's there. And then we're going to go ahead and bring my media tray over because I am going to be using, as I mentioned just a second ago, our clear embossing powder. So basically what we're doing is we are going to use this and create a bit of a resist because we're going to come back over in a minute and we are going to put some ink all over this to create that fun background. And in order to do so and get that image to show up nice and white, we're going to create this little resist background. So I'm going to go ahead and tap all that down and around. And I think you guys can see that. There we go. I think you can see how it picked up. Isn't that pretty? So fun. So the next step is to go ahead and heat set this so that it is activated and it will be nice and clear. So another few seconds here of noise. Let's see if you can pick that up. I don't know if you can see that, but it's starting to turn. Clear embossing powder is so fun. Oh my goodness, if you have not tried it, go to my website and get yourself a jar. It will last you forever. I have had this jar for a long, long time. Let me see if I've got everything kind of picked up here. And at the very end. All right. Okay, so I think I've got them. You can kind of see how it shimmers, shines. That's so pretty. This is just a fun technique just on its own. It's so fun. But we are going to, like I said, we're using it as a resist. And don't mind me as I pour my excess back into the jar. You know me, I can't leave it out. I'll spill it or something will happen. Last time I think I left it out and I was using the heat gun and it ended up blowing the powder everywhere. I was so frustrated. Okay, so we've got this, we've got the sentiment, we've got that, and now we're ready for the fun kind of watercolory background splash look, okay? So in order to do that, you actually will need a clear acetate sheet. You know, our stamps sets come with the stamps on a clear sheet, and so you can reuse that. Or we actually sell Clearview sheets that you can use as well. But really anything plastic will do. Now, one thing I want to point out is that I am using our Journey, our Fun Stampers Journey grid paper, which is awesome. I use it every time I create. And for this particular technique, I really use it because I use the grid I basically drew the outline of the shape of my card, and I'm going to position my clear paper over the grid so that I know where I want my color to go, because I'm creating this background and I want it to go in a very specific direction. I don't want it to be everywhere. So I do want to kind of guide it a little bit. Now there is only so much guidance you can do because this technique does not necessarily lend itself to exact positioning, as I learned the second time I did it, or third or fourth, whichever one it was. So it's basically just a guide, all right? So the next two things you're gonna need are some lemon drop re-inker and some banana cream. So this is kind of like a light yellow, and this is kind of like a nice rich yellow. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a few dots throughout the diagonal. Now you might be thinking, Janice, you don't want to put it that way because you want it. Technically, the angle is going up and to the right, and so you might think, should not this be up? But no, you don't want it that way, because when you're going to turn your card upside down, it's going to pick up the color from this direction, and then it'll end up being the way you want. So hopefully that made sense to you. So keep that in mind whenever you're doing an impression that there's a direction involved. Keep in mind your mirror imaging, okay? So I'm going to put my little random drops here, and I say random because there's no perfect way. Maybe I'll put some up here, maybe some there. And then I'll come in. Again, I do want an angle, so I don't want it everywhere, but I do want them here, there, a little bit here and there. This is kind of where my light bulbs are going to be, so maybe I want a little bit more. And maybe just a little bit here, maybe there, maybe there. Just a little bit, whoops. So again, there's that. Now, that might look kind of weird because it's got other stuff on my mat, so sorry, but you can kind of see where my ink is going there, and I want it to be right in orientation with the card because it's really helpful. Now this time around I'm going to use water. Okay, last time I used our Fusion blender and it caused a little bit of bleeding, so this time I'm just going to use a little bit of water, which I think will probably work pretty well. So I just sprayed them everywhere. Now I'm going to take this and just kind of tilt it and make my ink kind of I just want it to move a little bit. Careful with drips. Just kind of squish it around just a wee bit. I'm interested to see how this is going to work. I know you're thinking, why are you doing this on a video? Well, because I've done it 3 or 4 different times, and I want to see how it picks up the color. Okay, so here you go. Ready? So I've got this. I'm going to turn it upside down over my square that I've already, or my rectangle I've already gotten there, and then I'm just gonna kind of smear, rub, and see if I can get color to transfer over to my card base. Okay, ready for the final? Whoa. Slowly but surely. Ooh, ah. Okay, I think I want more color down here, so I'm gonna go back and I'm going to put a little bit more. This is another awesome reason why it's great to have this grid, because you can go back, you can add more, and if you need it. So I'm going to do a few more drops. Ooh, that's not really a drop, is it? It was kind of down at the bottom, right? And in the middle. And this time I'm going to come in with our Fusion Blender solution. Okay, and this should help it blend a little more. A little bit. Let it kind of move around just a wee bit. This is such a fun technique, guys. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to try one more time, and go back and see if I can pick up some more of that color. Right there in the middle, I think, is where I said I needed some, huh? There we go. Ooh, there, it's picked it up. And can you see how the resist is coming through? You can see the little shapes there. So fun. Now, maybe you want a little bit more color here, so maybe I'll come back and maybe I'll just tap down here in these areas. Picked up a little bit more. You can just play with it. You can come and go and come and go and come and go. I'm going to leave it at that. I do like want my corners to be light. So that is kind of my goal with this card. Now, because I created the resist, I'm going to come in and I'm going to grab a wet wipe or a paper towel, and I'm going to wipe off some of the color before I heat set it to dry. And I want to do that because, again, this was the resist. The resist, there it goes, is not going to pick up any of that color. You can kind of see how it's now lifting up. The paper, the cardstock, will keep the color. Your, what am I trying to say? The clear embossed areas will not. That is the whole point of a resist. And this is such a fun technique. The more that you kind of go back, you kind of wipe it off, the more it will show through. So super fun. Now you do want to quickly add some heat to it so it dries. So I'm just going to take a few minutes to do that. Now something that you can do too if you want to blot out, if you've got quite a lot of liquid, you can take a paper towel and help that come up. It's only if you have a lot of liquid. If not, the heat gun will work just fine. I'll sometimes also turn it upside down and heat it from the bottom as well. We have a nice 80-pound weight cardstock, so it's really handy when doing these techniques because your paper is not going to really, tear so much. It's nice and thick, which is really helpful when doing these fun kind of mixed media techniques. So fun. I love it. Okay, now I could probably dry this for a little bit longer, but I want to move on because I want to get to the fun light bulbs. So I'm going to take this beautiful card and I'm going to move it off to the side. And I'm going to bring in our light bulbs. Now, you should still have a good bit of pigment on your clear acetate sheet. And you're going to use that to color the light bulbs. So what I did was I stamped these, and then I went back and I just colored in the whatever these called, the metal parts up here, and I did them black and white because, and I'll bring you my original card, I wanted them black and white because I wanted it to balance out with the nice heavy black sentiment here. So I wanted a little bit of a balance. Excuse me. So that's what I did. And I just colored them in with our black colored pencil that we have. And really, and then I fussy cut them out, okay? So from here, you just need to, if it's not, so sometimes it'll dry a little bit, so you can add a little bit of our Fusion blender to make that kind of liven up again. Just gonna mix it in here a little bit. There we go. And I think I just might bring this in all over everywhere. And then I'll take my light bulb, any of them, and then just kind of pick up some of that color. And I'll go up until there we go, it's perfect. And the whole goal is you don't want it solid. I mean, if you can make it solid if you want, but yeah, my goal was to make it just kind of haphazard and just pick up color wherever it can here and there. Beautiful, perfect. That is kind of the exact look I was going for. And then one more. Fantastic. Maybe I'll do a little bit more on the edge there. Perfect. All right, and then you could use this for more light bulbs or another project, or you can just wipe it off and call it good. Okay, so my light bulbs are ready. I'll bring my card base back. The only other thing that I did to the card base was I used the stamp that was a part of our Delightful Light, these little rays. And I brought this out, and just to add another fun element to the card, I used our Journey Gold True Color Fusion ink, and I did a couple of these just up in here, kind of into the white parts of the card, just to kind of add another little added element and just a few there, again, to show that light is shining bright. And then from there, I think I was just ready to get these guys up and onto my page. I did cut a couple of the light bulb cords, I guess you can say, cords, and I'm not seeing them. So I'm going to go ahead and I will adhere the, oh, here's one little bit, this guy, and I'm going to use some of our white liner tape to adhere them to it. And oh, here's the other part. There we go. And I'm using white liner for this just because it's easy to apply to the bulbs. I thought about using our craft glue, and that probably would work too, except for then I'd have to wait for it to dry. So this was easy enough, simple. And I'm just going to do this real quick to get a good gauge on placement. Bring this up a little bit. And this one was about here. I think this light bulb was up and to the right. The long one went fairly far down, and this one came up and over. So that'll help you to kind of know where your the little cords go on your light bulb. So it's always good to get placement down first. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and grab a little bit more of our white liner tape. This is awesome double-sided tape. You just rip it off, super easy to use. Highly recommending grabbing a roll. The roll is huge. Will last you a long time. There's that one. Kind of arrange it how I want it. Oh, did y'all see what I did? I totally taped that to the wrong end. Wow. I'm not sure what I'm thinking there. There we go. That's the right end. And then one more for this other light bulb. And let's see here. I cannot find it. So I am going to just really quickly, I have one that I've yet to color, so I will just color it right quick and call it good, because that's what us crafters do, right? We're resourceful. Now you could probably use a number of things to create the cord, but since the stamp came with it, then that's what I'm using. Okay, so another little piece of tape. Get this cord down. And then I'll adhere those on top and add a few finishing last minute touches. Ta-da! Okay, so we're going to use our medium-size foam squares to adhere these to the card. And you know what? Before I do that, what I did with this previous card was I adhered this beautiful light bulb first. He kind of like set the tone for where the other ones are going to go. And he went all the way down to the L little script, or just about there. Actually, I'm going to pull him up just a tad since my cord is a little shorter than I thought. There we go. And make him straight. Now that he's in place, then I can come back and adhere these other two little guys. And really, that's about it. So he will go up here, and then this last light bulb will come up into the left. All right, let's see. Right about, I kind of want him over her. There we go. And I'm going to trim him so that his cord doesn't go up above my card. There we go. Okay, and so it's coming together. It's coming together. The last little bits, I added some of our beautiful rhinestones because this card is all about letting your light shine. And so you've got to bring in some of that shimmer and shine into this fun. It just adds a fun little element of bling to it, and maybe I'll put another one. Maybe I'll put another one right here. So fun. All right, the very, very last thing is a little bit of gold silk to add a little bit of fun flair. It already is full of flair, but you can always have a little bit more. And if you don't touch it too terribly hard, you can just get a little splatter here and there. Splatter is so fun. All right, so there we go. There is the finished product. Let me bring up the original one. And with this technique, you don't get the same effect twice. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the camera view over, and we'll chat a little further. So what do you think about that one? Was that a fun technique? So now you might be wondering, why did I choose to make this card that has nothing to do with fall or Thanksgiving, Halloween, Christmas, none of the seasons? Well, my inspiration was encouragement, to be quite honest. You know, in this world, there is always so much negativity. It's part of life. We ourselves do it. Everyone falls into that trap at some point or another. And I just wanted to bring a card that would bring a little bit of encouragement, a little bit of light into the darkness, so to speak. And so this is kind of what inspired this card and this sketch. So I hope you enjoyed it. Again, go on over and head to Journey Sketches on Facebook, like my Facebook page, and I'd love to see your creations and your take on this sketch. We have such a great group, and I'd love to have you join. So again, the stamp sets that were featured on this card were Delightful Light, the Fun Light Bulbs, and Hello Love for the sentiment. If you liked it, let me know. If you have any questions about the products I used, how I created it, if I wasn't too clear, then just let me know. There's a little comment down below, and I'd appreciate it. I will get back to you as soon as I can. If you guys have stuck around this long, then you may know that we have 25% off our planners and planner supplies this month, and we also have an amazing sign-up promotion that if you have not seen my video on that, please go check it out. It is $25 to join this month, and if you place a $150 or more party order within 21 days, you can purchase the Platinum machine, our Big Mama machine, for just $50. It is quite an amazing deal. So if you're interested, let me know. I know some of you guys are on the fence, so now is definitely the time to take advantage of that. Okay guys, I think that's it. I hope you enjoyed a little tutorial on making this card, and we will see you next time. Bye.